My name's Andrew. I quit my corporate job to build a business in a foreign country. And this is what it looks like to harvest thousands of chickens. And we got our man right here. Oh, my foot. It's a little stressful because they're getting stressed out, which can straight up kill them at this stage. It's the start of harvest, partially. We're heading to the farm. We're doing what's called a thinning. We have one truck coming to load up some bigger chickens that we have to create some space for the other ones to grow. Full harvest will come in a few days from now, but let's head to the farm and check it out. Stopping to get some food. We have the family in the back. Nova, Mochi. This is the quietest they've been. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them yet, but they're healthy, they're dewormed, de-ticked. We're about 5 minutes away from the farm, stopped at a 7-Eleven in the little downtown barangay area here. So we're getting some food for the harvesters. It's gonna be a quick harvest, one truck, so it'll just take about 1 hour, but still grab some snacks for them, and then we'll head to the farm. And then when we get there, we'll do a little show around and discuss more on why we're doing it this way, where we essentially have two separate harvests, and why that can be a good approach rather than harvesting everything in one night. It's not just, to space out the work, but there's a bit of strategic performance objective involved here. So we'll get into that at the farm, and we'll see you then. We've reunited our puppies here. We got to keep an eye on them. They can't be rustling around in the trenches anymore because we've paid a lot of money for their vaccines. We got to monitor them. Pick them up slowly. We don't want to stress them out when they're beefy like this. Day 29 chicken, pretty big guy. So we weighed some the other day, and again, we are round 2 bad uniformity. We are double dipping on bad uniformity here twice in a row. Like, look at the size of that one. That's a turkey. So we weighed some the other day. We had one that was 2.2 kg, day 28, and then we have some others in here that are like 1.1 kg. So a bigger than 1 kg discrepancy in size obviously is not great, but that's what we're dealing with right now. That's partially why we're doing the thinning. A few things I'll note about thinning here. So thinning isn't a necessary process of running a farm. Some farms do it, some don't. May depend on the cycle that you're running, as in our case, but there's a few reasons why it can be beneficial. Number one, you can reduce overcrowding in the farm, take out chicks that are of a good harvestable size, so then these smaller sized chicks have more room to grow in the coming days. Secondly, this can improve your uniformity. Here, in this case, we don't have great uniformity. We have birds that are like 2 kg, 1 kg, and everywhere's in between. So if we remove the larger ones now, we provide an opportunity for the smaller birds to catch up in size, and then they get harvested at a similar weight. So all things considered, the harvestable birds end up being around a similar size. Thinning can be a tool that you use to tighten your uniformity. And lastly is your FCR. When you have birds that are at a good harvestable weight, they don't still need to be here eating your feed, getting bigger and bigger. That eats into your FCR. When we take out the larger chickens today, we'll have lower feed consumption while the smaller ones catch up in size over the next few days, and that'll help improve our FCR. And one final small thing, when you get a mortality in this stage of a big 1.67, 8 kg bird, like this guy here, when this guy dies, mortality in your farm, that's like losing a family member. That's like having your best friend die in front of you. That's why you see me get down there and try to revive them. So sometimes I'm one step away from giving these things mouth to mouth to bring them back alive. So when you have a big bird like this die, it really, really hurts. So getting them out of here early is less chance for good harvestable birds to die, hurt your harvest recovery, bring down your average live weight. When they're of size, you want them out of here and processed. Less things that can go wrong, and that's about it. Again, the target here is 900 grams, which isn't huge, but we just want to make sure that most chickens can get out of here as possible. Our nursery's down there. We put a lot more in this time. We monitor it. We did a weigh-in, and it seems like a good chunk of them should be able to get removed in 3 days' time, sitting around 800 grams or so, which should get them up to that 900 threshold when harvest time comes, but that's essentially the goals. And we probably could have done a thinning last time too and grown the undersized ones a little bit more before they got harvested, because we ended up having a lot get left behind, which was unfortunate. It eats into a recovery. So you can kind of almost artificially bring your uniformity closer together when you harvest larger ones, and then you wait a few days to harvest the other ones, and that brings the weight of the ones that are harvested later up to the size that the ones that were harvested a few days before, if you kind of get what I'm saying. Like, look at this one. That's Christmas turkey Manook versus like this guy's pretty small. So we have 2 nurseries on the go. again, this one, tough to say how many are going to be taken here and if they're going to grow to appropriate size. There's definitely some that won't be taken here. This is you can think of it, if it's a hospital, this is the ICU. This is the intensive care unit where you don't know if they're going to make it. Some of these will be pulling off a life support here. Look at the size of this versus this one. See those two? That might be a 2 kg turkey. And then this nursery back here is generally ones, the majority should make the target weight, but they're just a little undersized right now. 800, 900 grams, 1 kg, whereas we'd like to harvest them more at, 1.5, 1.6, 1.7 kg would be a better range to be in. Here's the view. The shock value has worn off on me a little bit, but I still find it cool to see. And it's, a month's work of labor getting to this point. So to see grown chickens here moving around is a good sign. And it feels good. And one thing that we got to do, which I kind of forgot to do, is in the Philippines, a community is called a barangay, and each barangay has a kind of it's like a local, very local government position called a captain. And you need to get sign off from them to unload chickens, to load them onto trucks and harvest. So you need to get permission from them essentially to do that, which comes in the form of like a written document that they sign off on. So we're gonna have to go do that today. We got our permission slip, essentially. We gotta go get sign off from the captain. If you thought there's layers of government you need to go through to run a business, that is absolutely the case. And these are things that can easily slip your mind if you forget about it, and it slipped my mind here, which is why we're doing it the day of. So we're gonna go get this done, then we'll go back to the farm. Hopefully no issues here. Okay, loading is at 4 o'clock. It's 1:30 right now. So we're gonna head down to the feed room, show you what that looks like here. It's still pretty full. They delivered a lot of feed, but get a lot of comments of people. They're always worried about, people are gonna steal your feed, you're gonna get screwed. This is second cycle in a row. We got Kuya Rod Bull here on the case. We have more bags of feed in there than what we have documented on the whiteboard. So this is second time in a row. And again, I may have said it, but Kuya's no mathematician here, but he can grow Manuk. And this is the second cycle in a row. We have like 5, 6, 7 more bags of feed in here than we should. So, I'm not too worried about it. Kuya's been a good guy. He's been here for a while. Good at Manuk, bad at math. And he made the same addition mistake on the board when adding up the amount of feed that we got delivered, the exact same one that he made last cycle, which is pretty funny. So, he's no creature of change. We're getting it done here as a team. Wow, you guys beat me in here. How do you do that? So here's the bag of feed. Still a fair amount left, but you end up using a lot of feed at this stage in the process. We're probably, and this is a small farm, and we're probably giving, 30 to 40 bags of feed per day. So you think of a typical farm, which is more than twice the size of this, you're ripping through feed a lot. And these are the number one operational expense of a poultry farm, is gonna be the bags of feed. Like, these aren't cheap per bag, and you go through hundreds of them. So as harvest or thinning is going to start soon, same with last time, you stop feeding them about 5 hours before the harvest begins. That's because on a full stomach, you pick them up, they're upside down, they can like spit up and puke and choke. So stop feeding them. So the feeding trays are empty right now, which will be a little bit stressful for them. They don't like seeing, empty trays and not having access to food if they're hungry. So it'll be a stressful few hours, but not the end of the world. Excuse me, Manuk. So this is the coldest end of the farm. 3 cooling pads here. So you really feel the gust coming, but I think we've done a much better job in the second half of the cycle managing the temperature than the cycle before. Our brooding stage, not perfect, not by any stretch of the imagination, and that is the most critical period. You can have irreparable damage done in the first 3 days if temperature's not sorted out. Some are eating, some aren't. That really carries through, creating poor uniformity throughout the rest of the cycle. But the second half, we have made a comeback here. After second week, our weight several days behind, and I'm getting scared a little bit. I'm saying last cycle wasn't great, and we're coming back here looking like we may do a little bit worse, but we've made an all-time poultry comeback here. This is all-time, I gotta say. Week 3, week 4, the birds have really started to grow. Uniformity is still bad, but that's not even a metric I'm considering right now. I'm just looking for good, solid harvest recovery, growing up our small ones to a size that meets the threshold where they'll get taken, and then I'll be satisfied. That's kind of where we're ending up. I'm confident that this thinning is gonna be good. There's plenty of large birds here, and then we'll direct our focus to bringing the other ones up to size. So it is good, but a couple stressful weeks there. A couple visits from the doc where I'm embarrassed about her coming into the farm. Look at it. Look at our Bansuts here. There's Bansut City. Whereas now we have Malaki Manuk. You know, we still have a share of Bansuts, but not as bad. And I think we'll end up reaching a stronger harvest recovery than we did last time. And that should bleed into the rest of our metrics in terms of our FCR. And as a consequence, our revenue as well. Okay, harvesters are here. Dropped off the seal for the truck. So I'm gonna get out of their way and then they'll pull up and we'll get rolling here. Get that done. Should be a quick one, a lot more calm than the real deal. You may notice it's not the softest terrain out here for the farm. There's, look at that, do a little cameo. Mr. Rodwell, the best in the motherfucking business, all right? I won't let anybody say otherwise. That guy smokes Chesterfields like nobody in the country, man. He can get a Chesterfield back in 30 seconds if he wants to. So those are the kind of guys you want running Manuk out here, and you can ask anybody in the Philippines. Let's go get to it. Let's see what's up. We're still waiting for the harvesters to come, so we have a little bit of time. The trucks usually show up earlier than needed. We settle in. We've got the goods here. Seal, lock for the truck. Let's go outside. I'll get into why they give these, because this is important. Get the family here. It's starting to rain. But we get the lock and seal because you want it showing up to the processing plant. One, it labels the truck, and two, you don't want people stealing stuff. What happens? You hear stories of trucks come, they pick up a full load of chickens, and then they make a few stops on the way with some greasy side deals where they're selling some of the chickens that they pick up. So you put the lock and seal on so, you know, that doesn't happen. And when they show up, the seal matches the receipt and I know how many chickens roughly they're expecting on the truck. So it's both a record keeping and a theft prevention metric because the chickens they pick up here, I want brought to the processing plant, not sold for them to make a few dollars. Let's go take the family into the hut. Okay, kids, it's almost harvesting time, so you know what that means, right? Right? I don't know what we're gonna do with these kids. It's a grind having them, but I can't watch them decay. So anyways, we wanna harvest from this side down here. Better uniformity, but I don't know if the trucks can get over there, especially with our new septic tank here. So we'll see. These Kuyas know how to drive a truck, so we'll see what they can get up to. It's not amateurs. I feel like every Kuya out here is born with the ability to fix things with random materials and drive a truck in places you shouldn't. So we'll see if these guys are up to par. It says safe drive on the front of the truck. Let's see if that's reality here. Oh damn, he's straight through. That wasn't so bad. So we got the sheet. One of the things we write down here is the time of arrival of the truck, which is 3:19 right now. I got here about 3 minutes ago, 3:16. So here's our Manuk. We'll be harvesting down on that side there by the fans, and these guys will be chilling. So look at this beefy lad there. Jesus, just like clearing his throat like a grown man. We have a driver over here, guapo driver. We got our man right here, Kuya. Ang galing, Kuya. There you go. So he's doing all the hard work. Canada, taga Canada ako.
Papadala ka na sa Canada ni ma'am, taga-harvest. Magtatayo na si Sir doon. Sarap pa naman to, may dream country. May dream, ano ba, bansa ka, country ka, ano? Canada. Canada. Smoke?
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 Legal. Making sure it's steady, just like I touched on earlier. These Kuyas, they drive well and they can fix anything with unusual objects, and you see him drove in well and he's fixing the crates here with some rocks. So, anong pangalan mo?
Raymond.
Raymond. What about our driver? Patrick.
Lee Constantino.
Constantino. So we have Raymond and we got our driver, Patrick here. This is the dream team. This is how you get it done. So we've hired the best. He's expensive to bring here, but we make sure we get the best on hand. Them and Kuya Rodwell and Patrick. Oh, there's the crew coming up now. Right on cue, looking like a good team. I think it's the same people that harvested with us before, so building a reliable group of people that we can rely on in the community, which is good. We've just begun the harvest. We're ahead of schedule here, I think by 20 minutes or so. So hopefully we're done early as well, and they're rolling. 10 birds, 5 a hand when they harvest, 10 in each crate. There's 256 crates, so 2,560 birds will be leaving on this truck. We want to make sure that they're grabbing the big birds here. There's still some undersized ones down here, so we want to make sure they are collecting the ones we want to leave, because if picked properly, our average live weight should be pretty solid on this truck. You got to get your reps in out here. When you're the owner of the farm, you want to be able to wrangle a chicken with the best of them. So I got some reps in last harvest. I'll probably get some more here. Smaller team here. Actually, we had over 10 people for sure last time, but that was a 7-hour grind. Let's start wrangling some chickens here, earning my stripes, starting with this beefy guy here. 2. There is nothing like wrangling chickens, 5 heads a hand. There's nothing like it. This isn't sitting here typing on a keyboard. This is getting busy. You know what? Let's see if I can grab 5 a hand myself here. I ain't no pussy. Back here. Oh, come on now. 4. One more, baby, one more. 10 heads. That's how you earn your stripes in the business. Trabajo, trabajo. Let's get to work. Oh, that little pinky never lets me down, baby. I get 4 a hand, and then that last one's like this. Whoop, whoop, whoop. A little sneak attack. These are the tricks of the trade. You only learn from experience out here. This is savage work out here. Like, this is hard, dirty work. So you got people at home complaining that they have to wake up too early in the morning. Like, these same guys go around building to building, harvesting massive farms, like all throughout the month till ridiculous hours at night and in the morning, and it is an absolute grind. So be grateful for what you have out here. Like, these people don't get paid a tremendous amount to come out here and do work harder than what a lot of people have done in their lives. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. Be grateful for what you have, and if you want more, do it with gratitude. I think I just found some sauce there. Finger, hand, finger, hand. See if I can put that to practice. Oh, shit on my foot. 3, 4. Works 100% of the time. Tapos now. I'm tapping out here. That's more harvesting than I've done in my life. So now we're just grabbing some and putting them in the nursery. When this is done, we're gonna end up expanding the entire farm anyway, so the chicks can go wherever, but we don't want some of the really undersized ones to be taken, so we're just gonna section them off while the harvest is still going on, like this one. So these are ones that over the next 3 days, we want to get bigger before they get taken. They may meet the threshold now, but we still have an opportunity to grow them a little bit more. You see Kuya, Joseph here, doing the same thing, just collecting the ones that we don't want to be taken today. And then once everything's done, we'll open up this section and let them lurk around and enjoy more space. So we're almost, I mean, at least 3/4 of the way filling this truck up. And you can see this end, this section, is about 1/4 of the farm is almost cleared out. And then if you look back this way, we're putting more in here. You can see it's pretty crowded here. So when they go, we will lift that gate and they'll have plenty of space to roam around, a lot less competition to get to the feed trays and the water lines, which should help stimulate a little more growth over the next few days. He thinks he's getting away. What he doesn't know is that I am the Bansot Bandit. And these guys never get away from me. Never. Oh, this guy too. Little catch and release here. 15, 20 crates left, and then we'll be done. The harvesters are hard at work here. You can't get me away from harvesting a couple Manok. I just love it too much.
Boracay, one of the beautiful beach
Beautiful
in the
beach?
Philippines.
Have to go.
Boracay. Many foreigners like you.
Perfect. Pumunta kami mamaya.
Relax and easy.
Yeah. Final one. Bam. Here we go. Our man Raymond over here. Ang galing, Raymond. Put seal here. Hey, Manok. We lock him in. Successful thinning there. Kuya Patrick making his way, some snacks in hand. We got it done. About 1 hour for the truck. Harvesters are gone. Go see what it looks like, and we're gonna expand the area so the Manok have more space. So we're divided into 4 sections here. You see, one truck took a little less than 1/4. And that checks out for what happened last time too, where we had 5 trucks come and clear out the farm. Not a great harvest recovery last time, but that's what the deal was. So they're removing these fences. Look at Kuya. See, it's not just about the physical tasks. You need to get to know the Manok on an intimate level. And that's what you get from Kuya Rodwa and Kuya Joseph. they can speak to these Minook. They're free. They're free from jail. But even when you let them out, they're like not used to the space, so they kind of feel it out a little bit. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of a few more days to live? It's okay? That's a Bansoot. That one's not going to get taken, but I don't really want to kill it, so it'll stay. People say it all the time in the Philippines, and it is true. It's generally true everywhere, but you want employees that you can trust out here. Like Rodwell started here, he didn't have a bunch of experience as a farm manager, especially not managing farms like this and with the rice hull and stuff, but he's not a guy where I'm out here checking, you know, looking over my shoulder thinking that something sketchy is going to happen all the time. Like I said, we've had more feed than we should in the storage room for both cycles here, so it's that's an ease of mind, and we're learning some things here together, which I'm you know, fine to work with, so it's good. And he's a nice guy. Joseph, this is his first cycle here. Our other flock man left last time, but he's been fine. He's worked at some farms before, so it's been good. Like when you run a business like this, you are inherently reliant on your employees a lot of the time because it's 24-hour business. There's like crazy hours where things need to get done, so you need employees that you can rely on to get those things done. And there's ample opportunity, as people always mention the Philippines, of people stealing shit and people doing, you know, less than desirable behaviors as your employees. But fortunately, that's not really something I had to worry about at this time with these two guys here. So not to say that, you know, I'll never come across that, but just at this time we've had, you know, so some good people to work with so far. Okay, and you can see post-thinning, since we haven't fed them for like 5-6 hours now, we ran the feed lines quickly before we started expanding, and you can tell that they're hungry. They're all at the feeding pans eating, so that's a good sign, and we'll run it again tonight after everything's settled more in here. We actually have another motor issue with the feed line here, so we're doing a manual dump into each small hopper. So you see Kuya doing a manual dump here, and then we'll do that for each hopper. So slightly more laborious to do, but not a huge end game. Like the line still runs, it's just taking it from the main hopper to each line, which we had issues before last cycle, and then we had a little breakdown here yesterday. But you know, it's how it is. We're gonna move it, the cage, the fence, in front of the cooling pads down there because the wind is super strong, so none of the chickens are going there anyways. It's a little stressful because they're getting stressed out, which can straight up kill them at this stage, which isn't good, but we're just trying to get it done as quick as we can so we can leave them be. That was stressful. That's the first time I've ever seen live in the flesh Minook like stroke, essentially. Like it's almost like a human having a stroke. They're like dazed, and then you can see their legs. Anyways, I won't get too much into detail there, but yeah, so looking back, it's debatable on whether that was worth doing. It created a lot of stress, and we didn't even get to move them down. The middle was getting a little crowded anyway, so I think that will help as they spread out, but in hindsight, maybe not the best decision. So it sounded better than it was. I wasn't quite sure on what it was going to look like trying to move the crates or the fences, but now I know. I'm kind of getting a little bit greedy there in terms of optimizing the setup. Sometimes, you know, things being imperfect is better than, you know, creating chaos to reach perfection. Anyways, we're gonna let them be, let them sleep. Stressful day for the chickens, harvesting, moving the fences. We have about 3 days to go in the cycle, 2 days to go, I think, in the cycle. So it's gone by quick. We'll see what the results are. Thanks for watching.